It's going to be the first part of your journey in identifying what type of allergy you might have. Hi, my name is Tassos and I'm a food scientist at Queen's University Belfast. In this video, we're going to talk about food allergies and whether or not you should buy a food allergy testing kit online. Let's go. Food allergies are increasing worldwide, and scientists cannot pinpoint to an exact cause. Food sensitivity or hypersensitivity, to put it better, is an umbrella term for food allergy, celiac disease, and food intolerance. Let's quickly explain these conditions because this is the only way to approach home testing and if it works or not. So let's go. If you have a food allergy, the immune system in your body, which is designed to fight proper infections, is fighting back against a protein from a particular food that doesn't recognize. These can be eggs, fish, shellfish, peanuts, tree nuts, wheat, soya beans. Perceiving it as a threat, it can give you several symptoms or reactions, from mild to severe, with the most important being anaphylaxis, which can lead to death. So it's really serious. Since you are here, check out these videos on food allergies that are appearing now on the screen. I will provide links down in the description of this video together with other resources. Now, let's get back to the content. What is celiac disease? Celiac disease is an autoimmune condition that is caused by a reaction to gluten, a protein found in flours. If it goes unchecked, it will affect the ability of your gut to absorb nutrients from the foods you eat. It is a slow burner and it must be managed by eliminating gluten from your diet to secure a quality of life in the long run. Food intolerance is another category. The main difference is that it does not affect the immune system and it is not life-threatening. Food essentially triggers your digestion system to react, and you may have symptoms like diarrhea, skin rash when consuming certain foods. For example, lactose is a well-known food intolerant. Many people lack the enzyme to break lactose into simple sugars in milk, and therefore this can cause them bloating and pains because they cannot digest the milk properly. Allergies are the most important of all of these conditions because, of course, they can be life-threatening. People with suspected food allergies, they're looking for answers to these type of questions. My symptoms, were they actually an allergic reaction to food or it was something else? Which food exactly caused this? Is it gonna happen to me again? What type of food do I need to avoid? What is the official way to diagnose a food allergy? If you go to a GP, a general practitioner, they will go over your medical history, any symptoms you might have, and they will refer you to a specialist, which is here in the UK, it's an allergy clinic. Somewhere else, it might be for you a dermatologist. There, you will be typically offered a prick test, which is inserting to your skin via a small needle some controlled doses of several food extracts. They will monitor your immune cell reaction to these extracts. Itching, redness, swelling, all of these are allergies, are allergic reactions that you might have to these specific foods. Alternatively, you will be offered a blood test, which is going to measure the amount of antibodies that are generated by your body whenever you are eating these certain foods. So more specifically, they will be looking at the immunoglobulin E, EGE protein. Remember, all the antibodies are proteins. This is produced by the immune system to fight the allergen proteins. So this protein is involved in what is called immediate allergic reaction by essentially telling other cells to release certain chemicals. And it is those chemicals that are cause the sudden allergic reactions, which can range from some hives or some itching to maybe more severe symptoms such as anaphylaxis. The ultimate confirmation comes when the specialist doctor conducts a challenge test with foods in a safe hospital environment. But that referral can take several months, up to a year. So what do you do in the meantime? If you search on Google for food allergy testing, you will see hundreds and hundreds of companies offering tests online for different types of tests, different types of budgets, some of them well up to £500 or even more. Are any of these worth pursuing? Let's look at the evidence. What home tests offer? Well, there are two categories. The ones that involve sending your blood sample in a lab, and the ones that they send you an analysis kit and you will get the test straight away from the convenience of your home. With the home to lab allergy EGE blood test, you prick your finger, you collect the blood, and you send it to the lab for analysis of the EGE antibodies, usually using an ELISA plate testing method. Materials and instructions are included in the box. The results are accessed online after a while, and you will be given an overview of the allergens you are supposed to have and to be responsible to, but you can take that with a pinch of salt. Why am I saying that? Because they will give you a list of allergens or of potential compounds that you are not exactly allergic to, but you are sensitized to. And there's a big difference between the two. Being sensitized to something doesn't automatically make you allergic to that thing. This can be the first step in your journey to understand what kind of allergy you might have, but it's not a definite diagnosis. Home to lab tests are on the rise worldwide, offering anything from a simple blood analysis for vitamin D to more complex markers, because I guess they remove the barrier. But it's important to understand how to interpret the results. The allergy home test for EGE is even more limited. It can give you some information about the main allergens, but that doesn't usually involve food. It can give you information such as dust or pollen or cat dander or maybe grass, but it will not give you anything about food. So let's get this out of the way. What about food testing at home? Well, there are some attempts on this in what we call lateral flow devices, which is nothing more complicated than, for example, what is now a COVID rapid test or even a pregnancy test. It's a strip of paper, some chemicals embedded, and then there is a reaction there happening between the antigen and the antibody. And then there is a visual confirmation that this reaction happened. That's all. But with regards to how efficient they are for food testing, well, I have my reservations. They are mostly aimed at the food industry and the food service sector, and not for consumers really, because there are issues with regards to the type of sample that is suitable for them, if it's a liquid or a solid food, for example, and also the size of the sample. Imagine that you are trying to sample part of the food, but not all the food, and that's difficult because maybe the allergen is around at certain places that you will not sample, so you will miss the allergen, for example, a trace of peanut and so on. In the context of food testing for consumers, this is practically impossible. Doctors are discrediting these tests as non-scientific, and I can understand why. But my feeling is that this test can be useful in a certain demographic, especially the home-to-lab allergy EGE blood test, that it can offer value to certain people. I'm trying to get to the mindset of somebody with a suspected food allergy, while on the waiting list for their appointment with a doctor may be backlogged to see whether in a year, due to the pandemic, or I don't know when they will have an appointment. They might want to know in advance of possible sources. We live in the age of information, and we want to know things about our health. So this is what this test offers. The key thing is not to trust the results and to use them only as an indication for what we have. If you belong in this demographic and you can afford the test, it can give value to you if you know how to interpret the results. However, not all the tests are equally informative or useful. Most of the ads appearing online when you are trying to search for food allergy testing are from companies employing methods not based on solid scientific basis. The official page of the NHS in the UK is warning people to stay away from these tests. Anything involving tests using other than the EGE as target, for example, leukocytes or other, are not accurate. Hair testing, electrodermal type of tests, pulse tests, all of them lack the scientific evidence to support their claim for determination of food allergies. Okay, you may ask, we get it about the food testing, we get it about the allergy diagnosis via home tests. What about the tests that are testing for food intolerance? Most of them are detecting the presence of EGE antibodies, but EGE antibodies to food are formed in all healthy people as part of the digestion process. But you have to remember one thing, that there is at the present, no screening test official and validated to diagnose a food intolerance. What I would recommend personally is to avoid these tests, because they might point you in the direction of avoiding certain foods and thus developing nutritional deficiencies, where essentially you don't have to, because these tests are completely wrong or can be completely wrong. So it's best to avoid them. The advice of the health authorities is to keep a good food diary and to write the types of food that you eat every day if you have an issue, and also how do you feel after eating them. And if you have this history, then you can track it and you can discuss it with your medical doctor. You might even want to try what we call a simple elimination diet. The elimination diet is simply excluding certain foods out of your diet and then slowly introducing them back to just see how exactly your digestion system behaves with this food, and then tracking everything down and writing. If you do so, you will have even more evidence when you discuss these intolerances with your doctor. In conclusion, most of the home tests that are designed to diagnose a food allergy or to confirm the presence of an allergen in a food are not accurate. Only certain home-to-lab tests that target the IgE protein can provide some value to you in identifying perhaps some of the potential allergens in your diet, but you must know how to interpret these tests. It's going to be the first part of your journey in identifying what type of allergy you might have. But even that comes with several questions. So it's always good to remember that for anything around allergies, it's always important to talk to your medical doctor, to discuss these things and to diagnose it in an official way if you can. Full disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not trying to give you medical advice here. I'm just, from my point of view, I'm just going to inform you to help you make a decision on whether or not you should invest in a home testing kit or in a home to lab kit that are available on the internet. If this video gave you value, please give a like, send me a comment if you want, and subscribe if you can for more quality content such as this. Thanks a lot for sticking out until the very end, and see you in the next video. Bye!